Okay, he was carrying a gun in his pants and he shot himself in the thigh. For that bit of brilliance, one-time Super Bowl hero Plaxico Burress went to prison today, expected to serve 20 months. Joining us is contributor Cameron Turner from Turner's 2 Cents. Hi, Cameron.
Hey, Fred, how are you?
Good, thank you. New York has strict gun laws. 20 months for shooting yourself? Too much?
You know what? What gets me about this situation, no, it's not too much. It's what anybody would have gotten. Plaxico Burress' attorney, Benjamin Brafton, he came out today with all this righteous indignation and decried the sentence as a tragedy and said it was very sad. No, it isn't. This is not a tragedy. It's not very sad. That's this guy, Bruce Lisker, here in L.A., who just got out of prison after spending 26 years for, supposedly murdering his mom, which he didn't actually do. That's a tragedy. Plaxico Burress did something stupid. He did something irresponsible. You're in New York, which, as you just pointed out, Fred, has very strict no-nonsense gun laws. You don't go to a nightclub with a loaded weapon in your waistband. And the doggone thing slips down, discharged. Somebody almost got shot. The bullet ricocheted. So he didn't get sent to prison for shooting himself. He got sent to prison because he carried a weapon someplace that he shouldn't have. And also, let's bear in mind, the original charge was illegal gun possession and reckless endangerment. Mm-hmm. Plaxico was able to plead that down to something called attempted weapons possession. I guess since he dropped it and capped on himself, he was attempting to possess it. But he could have got 3.5 years and he got 2. I don't feel sorry for him. Can't do the crime, you shouldn't do the time. Other way around. You can't do the time, you shouldn't do the crime.
All right, let me ask you about this. I want your take on this. White police officer in Philadelphia came to work with cornrows and was ordered by a black superior to get a haircut because braids violated department standards. Now, the Philadelphia Daily News, Cameron, said that dozens of black officers wear cornrows. Police say the officer was told to cut his hair to look more professional. Should what's fair for one be fair for all?
There needs to be an equal standard. I think the key question here is how many other officers had this hairstyle. Now, the Philadelphia News said dozens of black officers. A spokesperson, however, for the Philadelphia PD said he knew of one African-American officer who wore cornrows, and that officer was also ordered to change his hairstyle. So it's one or the other. I don't know. I'll say this. If, in fact, there are, quote, dozens of black policemen walking around Philadelphia with cornrows, then this white officer by no means should have been reprimanded by that. And I certainly am always offended when I see some of my own doing what has been done to us. So if a black superior officer used some kind of reverse racism here, that's completely wrong. However, if the police department spokesman is right, that there aren't dozens of black men walking around with cornrows, and that the one guy who did had to change his hairstyle, well, then this white officer has not been victimized in any way. And, he just got to go along with the program and change his hairstyle. So problem is we don't really seem to know exactly what the deal is here.
Well, but please understand this. I mean, the Philadelphia Daily News wrote the story, and we both know you can always believe everything you read in the newspaper, can't you?
Well, hopefully a good reporter does the fact checking and gets the details. That doesn't always happen. There's a big difference between saying there's dozens of black officers walking around with cornrows and saying there was one who used to have cornrows until he was told to shave his hair. I'll say this. From my point of view, cornrows is not an unprofessional hairstyle. It is a hairstyle that is linked to a lot of different braiding techniques that go back hundreds of years to Africa, sub-Saharan as well as Saharan Africa. So there's nothing fundamentally negative about that hairstyle. But the police department has its dress code, which it is entitled to enforce. I don't know, Fred. I want to get the details, find out if the police are right or if the paper is right. But, it's a weird situation. A white guy with cornrows. I'd like to find out why he wanted to have that hairstyle. It's not something most white brothers want to do.
It just makes him look becoming. All right, Cameron, good job. Good job as always.
Fred,
we'll talk to you next week.
It.
Thanks a lot.
All right now. Okay.